Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, all you spiritual beings having a human experience. That's you, and you, and you. That's everyone. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. My name is Jim Grove. I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center, and I'd like to greet you with Namaste. Namaste is Sanskrit and stands for the divinity within me greets and recognizes and honors the divinity in each and every one of you. And you are welcome here, you are loved, and we're so glad that you're here. And for those of you that are joining us from afar, virtually, either now or at some time in the future, you are welcome as well. And we know that you will get something wonderful out of this service. So today is a special day, isn't it? I mean, we got a lot going on. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. we have an improv workshop after the service by Sacha Winkleman. It is also Valentine's Week. We have Valentine's Day coming up on Wednesday, so we honor that, and anniversaries that occur at that time as well. Theresa and Bobby, 26 years. Robert and me, 42 years. So, and they said it wouldn't last. Anyway, we are so blessed to have all of you here with us this morning. And Reverend Theresa is going to be presenting a wonderful talk this morning on when discomfort ends, transformation begins. And for some reason, I started thinking about that topic this week, and what came to mind was living on the edge, that phrase. And I decided, well, I'm going to look that up. And it fits perfectly with the topic today. So living on the edge, to engage in risky or daring activities, often seeking excitement and thrill. It suggests living in a way that is adventurous, unconventional, or on the brink of danger or uncertainty. People who live on the edge are typically willing to take risks and embrace challenges rather than leading a more conventional or predictable lifestyle. Now, doesn't that apply to us? Isn't that great? So anyway, as we prepare for our time together this morning, I invite you to go into prayer with me as we open the service, and just know with me that yes, we are in the midst of a divine presence that is God, that is love, that is harmony, that is balance. Even in the midst of those circumstances that may cause us discomfort or seem like there's no way out, we know that at the center of our being, we are one with this divine presence. And I know this for myself. I know this for everyone here. And I know also that this time together is a blessing for us as we explore this wonderful thing called transformation from discomfort, from our comfort zone into transformation. I'm so grateful for this. I release my word now knowing that this entire service is a blessing and unfolds perfectly in divine right order. As I release my word with gratitude, we all say, and so it is. And it's my pleasure to introduce our musical duo this morning, Pedro and Zoe. And I have just a little something about them as well. They are an eclectic acoustical fiddle/guitar act that showcases the talents of multi-instrumentalists and singers, Pedro and Zoe. Together, they play inspired world music and originals with Pedro on slide, bass, resonator guitars, and vocals, and Zoe on violin and vocals. Their eclectic mix brings a taste of Delta blues, bluegrass, Americana, Latin, reggae, jazz, and other musical stylings. So with that, welcome Pedro and Zoe.
I'd have never found you. An angel flying too close to the ground. I patched your broken wings and hung around the bar. Tried to keep your spirits up and your fever down. I knew one day that you'd fly away. For love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to. I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. Fly on, past the speed of sound. I'd rather see you up than to see you down. So leave me if you need to. I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. If you need to, I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground.
Oh yes, just as the song said, the sweetest sound. Thank you. Beautiful. I'm Richard Houston. I'm a licensed practitioner here also at the center and doing the reading today. And so I chose, based on the subject we're talking about, Pema Chodron, Welcoming the Unwelcome, one of my favorite authors. I was asked to give a graduation speech. I thought about how in education there's a lot of emphasis on success, but very little on failure. So I decided to talk about the fine art of failure. As I told the students, learning how to fail will help us more than anything else in life. In the next 6 months, the next year, the next 10 years, the next 20 years, for as long as we live, until we drop dead. When we fail, in other words, when things don't work out the way we want them to, we feel our vulnerability in a raw and powerful way. Our uncomfortable ego tries to escape from that rawness. One of the most important methods is to blame our failure on something outside of us. Our relationships don't work out, so we blame the other person. We can't get a job, so we blame our potential employers, or society as a whole, or the current political situation. The other common approach is to feel bad about ourselves and label others a failure. Either way, we end up feeling there's something fundamentally wrong with us. There's a third way, however, which is to train ourselves simply to feel what we feel. I like to call this holding the rawness of vulnerability in our heart. When we're resisting or trying to escape from what is, there is usually some kind of physical sign, a tightening or contraction somewhere in the body. When we notice this sign of resistance, see if you can stick with the raw feeling of discomfort just for a moment, just long enough for our nervous system to start getting used to it. Trungpa Rinpoche once said that we don't have the patience to stay with uncomfortable feelings for even 3 minutes. When I heard that, I thought, 3 minutes? That would be enough to win some kind of grand prize. For us, most days, staying with this discomfort for even 3 seconds is a lot of work. But whatever the amount of time, the idea is to keep increasing it gradually, at your own pace. Keep allowing yourself to hang in there for just a bit longer. You may have a fixed idea of what you're experiencing, such as dread, anger, or disappointment. But when you let yourself be present with the feeling and experience it directly, you find you can't pin it down so easily. That dread or anger keeps morphing and shifting and changing. Even through its unpleasantness haunts you, even though it feels so threatening. When you look hard, you discover that you can't really find anything substantial. The ego wants resolution, wants to control impertinence, wants something secure and certain to hold on to. It freezes what is actually fluid. It grasps what is in motion. It tries to escape the beautiful truth of the fully alive nature of everything. As a result, we feel dissatisfied, haunted, threatened. We spend most of our time in a cage created by our own fear of discomfort. The alternative is to train in holding the rawness of vulnerability in our heart. Through this practice, we can eventually accustom our nervous system to relaxing with the truth, to relaxing with the impermanent, uncontrollable nature of things. We can slowly increase our ability to expand rather than contract, to let go rather than cling. Every time we practice holding the rawness of vulnerability in our heart, we gain a little insight into how things really are. We experience directly how things never stay the same, even for a moment. We can't make anything stand still, even if we try. What we hear, see, smell, taste, touch, and think about is constantly changing. Even our heaviest, most unpleasant emotions have no solidity to them.
my heart, tearing my whole world apart. I feel raining on down on me. Falling like rain, I spent half my life drowned in my pain. I feel raining on down on me. Falling like rain, spend half my life drowning my pain. I feel raining on down on me.
I love your music. Love it, love it. Thank you so much. Pedro should get an extra applause because he was playing last night. Did you play last night? Zoe played last night too. You know, these musicians that we bring in are local musicians that are gigging on Saturday nights, which is one reason why we chose to do 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we could get them here, but several of us were at Big Top last night and heard Pedro on stage with Chris Anderson and Dwayne Betts and other local legends, and so it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Were you gonna? No? Not? Bob, I'm looking at you. You're not gonna do it now, right? Okay. So one other little side note, that Willie song, Angel Flying Too Close, was actually the song played at my first wedding. And my husband, which is a phrase I learned this morning. Where are you, Rebecca? Thank you for that. My husband, who is a dear friend, his birthday's tomorrow. And he and his wife, their anniversary was last Monday. Bobby's and ours is Wednesday, as Jim said. And that's the fullness of life. I heard that song and tears came to my eyes, and my heart, you know, has that little twinge of pain. It's the fullness and the beauty of this thing called life. And we don't want to shy away from that. You know, that is our divinity and our humanity in one. When we can feel all of the feels, yeah? We can feel all of the feels and know that that is our wholeness. That is our wholeness. It is so beautiful. So are you ready? Are you ready? You ready to feel the feels? And for me, it's, are you ready to take another step, you know, towards that vision that calling, that urge within you, that passion, that thing within you that's saying, I want more, I want to do more, I want to see more, I want to experience more, I want to feel more. Yeah, are you ready for that? Because if you are ready for that divine idea that wants to be revealed through you, that divine idea that wants to manifest itself through you, you have to unlock your potential. And what's blocking that potential? All that stuff you don't want to feel. All the fears, all the regrets, all the I should have, I shouldn't have, I shouldn't should on thyself. That's what we shouldn't do. So I really want us to step outside our comfort zone. And Kim Ballou last week got us ready for that, didn't she? Yeah. You know, it's intimate to sing with one another in that way that we did last week. It's intimate to have your voice be heard in a room like that when tears are running down your cheeks. So I'm very proud of you for doing that. But I want us to embark and continue. I know most of us are here and you tune in because you're already on this journey, but I want us to really dive deep for transformation, for true transformation, personal, individual, and collective transformation. That's what we're being called to do. And I spoke last week, I just for a moment last week about the article that's in the Science Mind magazine, Ernest Holmes, where he says, what are you afraid of? And he goes into, we're afraid of everything. You know, we get paralyzed and afraid of so many things, everything, the universe, he says. We get afraid of our pain and suffering and the understanding of social and economic insecurities. Brilliant reading, Richard. I love Pema, and that was so spot on. So spot on. So we have to train our minds, don't we? We have to train our mind in the realization of the self, what that is, what life is, what the divine is, spirit, God, creative intelligence, source, energy, whatever it is that we call this thing that has created all life and us, and is the process of life in which we live and use all the time. To really, really get and live from that place that there's a presence within us, here, now, guiding us. You know, there's something within me, and there's something within you, each one of you, everyone at home. I don't care who you are. There's something in you that has never been born and has never died. There is something in you that is eternal, indestructible, absolutely indestructible. So what are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? I mean, if we really got that, we wouldn't have fear, would we? We'd just be stepping out all over the place, all the time. We wouldn't have any fear. From that eternal source is where we find that peace and poise and wisdom and clarity. It's where we find our power each and every time we seek it. It's there. So I'm going to ask you throughout the next 20 minutes, what's calling you? Tap into it. Listen up. What is calling you to move forward? What is beckoning you? You know, there's all kinds of things that you've done in your life that you didn't know how to do before you did it, right? Everyone in here has ridden a bike. You didn't know how to ride the bike. It's Valentine's Day this week. Everyone had a first kiss. You didn't know how to do it before you did it. Didn't stop, you did it. I remember mine like it was yesterday. It was at the pump house at the golf course. His name was Jeffrey Pruitt. Oh, God, I'm naming you right out there. He still lives in the town, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Just in case anybody wants to track him down. Cutie, cutie. He was then. He's the only boy in school that had long hair. Of course, that's who I wanted. Yeah. Birth itself was difficult. It didn't seem to stop you. It was messy. Have you ever seen it? It's messy. It's painful. Scary. And you're here. And you're here. Life's like that. It's complicated, it's magnificent, it's wonderful, and it's messy, and it's scary. It's uncomfortable. And we have the freedom to choose whether we get stymied by all of that or we blossom. It is absolutely our choice. So our affirmation today is change is challenging. It has always been challenging for us, right? You know that. Even the change you want, it's been challenging, right? But I can do hard things. And I know you can do hard things. So I want to hear it. Change is challenging, but I can do hard things.
Change is challenging, but I can do hard things.
Amen. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you will continue to do so. This is the power that we have to transform our lives. And it lies in that willingness for us to say that each and every day, for us to rise up again and again and again and again. It is our willingness to step outside, to step into our comfort zone, or outside of our comfort zone, beyond our comfort zone, through that comfort zone, to embrace the unknown. Yeah. To discover what's really possible for us. And to do that, we have to take action. So that's the other piece of it. It's just not ethereal, or it's not just ethereal, right? We have to step into it. You have to take action in order to really find out what you're capable of, right? Yeah. So we have tools. Science of Mind teaches us tools of empowerment. I love this teaching. It has saved my life. And consistently, since I found this teaching when I was 31 years old, consistently it has called me to do things I'm uncomfortable with. Consistently called me forward to go beyond my comfort zone into a place of growth and evolution consistently. And what is a comfort zone? It's where we're familiar, right? We're familiar. It's habitual, actually, our comfort zone. It's habitual. It's also stagnant. It's also limited. And actually, it might not be so great, right? Might not be so great. So we want to ask ourselves, what am I afraid of? Look at that so we can move forward. I'm going to keep reminding you of that. That's stepping out into new experiences where challenges and opportunities lie. They're the same thing. They're the different side of the same coin, right? The challenge and the opportunity. Opportunity for self-discovery. Opportunity for stretching and personal transformation and to learn new things, new skills. That's what this teaching has done. New skills. So, before you panic and want to run out the door, because I heard this a couple weeks ago from what I was saying up here, I'm not saying that we all have to go put our name on the ballot for president, although I wish you would. There's several of you. I wish you would. But there's all manner of callings, right? It doesn't mean that great big, I'm going to be the president of the United States. It doesn't mean that. It might mean I'm going to call that person and ask for forgiveness. I'm going to show up for the next class that CSLCC teaches. I'm going to get involved in helping to set up on Sunday morning so I can have a feeling of belonging. There's all kinds of ways that we need to stretch or step out. You know what it is for you. I know what it is for me. And this teaching continues to teach me that. It continues to show me. It continues to show me how resilient I am, how adaptable, how flexible I am, how I really can learn new tricks. Yeah. It shows me where I'm challenged, but I am not afraid to look at it. And I'm not afraid to tell you about it. So I've been talking about it since the second Sunday of the year, that I'm tired. Oh my God, Bobby and I are taking a vacation next week. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm working through it. And I invite you to work through your stuff, to confront the fears, the limiting beliefs that you have. They're layers and layers and layers. And oh my God, 31 years, you'd think I'd just be like all put together. They're layers. It's an onion. There's tiny little layers of the onions that we peel. Yeah. But here's the thing to know. They are self-imposed limitations that you bump up against. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it to your face. I'm going to say it. I say it to mine in the mirror. These are self-imposed limitations. Thomas Troward, who was a great early New Thought teacher, he influenced Emmett Fox. He influenced William James, the psychologist. He said, belief in limitation is the one and only thing that causes limitation. Come on, that's pretty simple. Belief in limitation is the only thing that causes limitation. Wow. We're always planting seeds. What are the seeds? Possibilities, limitations. You're the farmer, right? You're the farmer in your life, right? So he goes on and says, in proportion as to we can lay aside those fears, lay aside those limiting thoughts that we have, that say, oh, I'm just a musician and I couldn't possibly tour the country and the world and play for greats and be living my life, living my dream, right? That to the degree that we can do that, our boundaries and our borders dissolve, they disappear, and we step into a new experience. Things we resist persist. You've heard that. You know that. So I invite you to, again, embrace that discomfort, that uncertainty, so you can expand your perspective beyond that. And there's no end to this, no place where we begin and end. Remember I said you weren't born, you don't die, right? The you with the capital Y, that incarnation of spirit, that divine essence, that which is here to experience life freely, fully, as you, as me, as the person next to you, because we're all going to do it differently. And that is the beauty. That unity that I talk about every Sunday is not sameness. It's uniqueness. It's the one pouring itself into its creation in order to experience life multiplied. It's a multiplicity. It's diverse by design. That's a really glorious and great thing, right? And it requires trust. I've got this book here, Trust, up here. Iyanla Van Zandt. She says, trust is a way of thinking, being, and living that grows from experience. Grows from experience. Trust. It grows from experience, desire, and choice. See, there's that urge in you, that vision in you, that desire in you, that passion, that talent, that thing in you that wants to express and experience, and you have a choice whether you're going to follow that or not. This is what she's saying trust is. Trust is a way of thinking, being, and living that grows from experience, desire, and choice. It's a demonstration of hope, courage, perseverance, and that which moves the mind, heart, and body beyond what is known into the realm of what is possible. Do you love that? Isn't that exciting and encouraging? Erik Erikson, who I studied in school, because my degree is in human development, my first one. And he talks about how our fears are born in childhood, right? So I know we have lots of therapists in the room, and you understand this. Our fears are born in childhood, but they're not concrete. What was that? We freeze. What was that, Richard, that Pema said? We freeze what is fluid. You are spiritual substance. Your life is spiritual substance. It's not concrete. Well, that's spiritual substance too. It all is, right? Because it can be changed. It can be changed. So I'm going to ask you right now just to stop and tap in. Just go in. Right here in this beautiful garden, this beautiful space, this beautiful creation of life itself. Tap into the body, which is same as this beauty surrounding us. It is the temple, the body of the divine. And this life, this process of life, this experience we've had. There's been times where you've stepped out, stepped through the discomfort, beyond the comfort zone, and accomplished a goal. See it, feel it, name it right now for yourself. Might have been riding a bike. Might have been that phone call. Might be being here right now this morning. But I imagine for each one of us, there's also a limiting belief. Something that right now we're holding on to, we're wrestling with, that is holding us, blocking us, keeping us paralyzed, stagnant. An idea in our mind that is keeping us from move forward. Feel into that, look at it, acknowledge it, name it. Here's the action. I want you to think of one thing. Let it come. One thing you can do today. Little step. Easy step. To move forward into that expanded life. Beyond the comfort zone. One thing. And now open your eyes. Look around this room. You're going to find somebody before you leave here, that includes you too, and tell them. Tell them, this is what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? We're not playing. This is real. And it may feel scary, and you know what? It is so doggone liberating. It is so liberating to bust the energy out of our fears. To pop the balloon, to say, it's nothing. It's a thought, it's an idea that I have that's scaring me. That's all it is. And that is the only thing standing in the way of my good, is that idea. It's simply an idea. Do you agree? Do you know?
Stay for the improv class.
Yes, perfect, Alicia. Stay for the improv class. Because I'm sure there's many in here that are like, oh, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. Then you better stay. You better stay. And it's offered on a love offering. So you put a buck in the basket and you stay if that's what you need to do. Absolutely. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. This is what we read in the Science of Mind textbook. Fear brings limitation and lack. It destroys happiness and possibility of a greater degree of livingness. Fear blocks the more complete givingness of spirit to its highest form of manifestation on this planet, which is you, which is each one of us. It's humanity. We have constructs to disassemble, to dismantle, personally and collectively. I want to tell you about a trailblazing educator. Those of you that see my posts on Facebook have already read it. I'll tell you a little bit more about her right now. Clara Bell Drisdell. She was born in 1885 in Texas. She was the first African American graduate of New Mexico State University. Many professors would not allow her to sit in the classroom, so she had to stand in the hallway and take notes. She wasn't allowed to walk with her graduating class. In 1917, she married Jasper Williams, and they had 3 sons that all 3 became physicians. An internist, OB-GYN, and Dr. James William, who became a surgeon, great surgeon. He was also an airman, won the Congressional Medal of Honor 12 years after he almost got discharged, could have possibly been hung because he was a black officer. And they weren't allowed in the white officers club. Well, then how can we be an officer if we're not actually treated like an officer? How can we be an officer if we don't have the liberties of an officer? This doesn't make sense, right? So they stood up, him leading the pack, and said, well, this doesn't make sense. 101 black officers signed this petition. 12 years later, he won the Congressional Medal of Honor, or was awarded. He spent his life in public service just like his mother did. His mother and his 2 brothers, 3 sons, this woman, Clara Bell Drisdell Williams, opened the Williams Clinic in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. Amazing work they did. She was a great teacher. She taught at the Booker T. Washington in Las Cruces, teaching children, and at night she taught their parents. These were former slaves, their parents. The impact this woman made for individuals, for our culture, is amazing, isn't it? It's just amazing. Her son, William, or James, was the first black surgeon at St. Bernard's Hospital in Chicago. He became the chief of surgery. He was the doctor of Muddy Waters. Pretty awesome. And the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he was in Chicago. It's an amazing family, right? Amazing family. Yeah, she continued to take classes into the 1950s. She was in her 60s, still taking classes, still getting degrees. Can you imagine the complexity? Can you imagine the threats, the fear, the failures? I'm sure there were failures along the way. Can you imagine? You need to imagine. And to know that she did amazing things. And you too can do amazing things. And I don't care how old you are. Doesn't matter. In 1961, the New Mexico State University named a street after Williams. And then in 1980, she received an honorary doctorate and an apology for the way she had been treated. Some people had to be uncomfortable in order to do that, didn't they? Thank God they did. She lived to 108.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my God.
Amazing woman. We're here to support you in this. I am. We've got Rev G here this morning. We've got 2 ministers in this community, and we have 12 licensed spiritual practitioners. Seek us out. We want to help. We'll help you write your affirmations. We'll help you write your spiritual mind treatments. We'll help you figure out what that fear is, where it came from. Let's bust it up. Let's bust it up. The universe doesn't know big and small, difficult or easy, black or white, good or bad, right or wrong. Ernest Holmes said, we sweat blood contending against an adversary who has no evidence outside of our own imagination. You need me to say it again? We sweat blood contending with an adversary who has no existence outside our own imagination. There's 10 of us going to conference next week in Savannah. 8 of them are virgins. They've never been to conference before. Bobby and I have. We're not virgins. Oh yeah. Oh, Emil's not either. So 7 virgins on the bus going to Charleston. It takes a sense of, doesn't it, Laura, Diana, Rebecca? It takes a little bit of, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step out. I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to trust God, self, each other, life. Science of Mind tells us God is more completely expressed through the person who lives largely, who steps out. That's how we express this divine essence within us. We got to do it. We got to find lots and lots of ways to do it and not stop doing it. This is your call to action, and it's my call to action to continue to motivate you. It's my motivation to continue to motivate you. My first New Thought minister, Reverend David Owen Ritz, he used to say, my job is to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Don't get too damn comfortable. All right, so it is.
So this next song that we're about to do is in Spanish, but I thought it was very apropos to today's message. It's called Clandestino, and it is a song that is in honor of all the refugees. Being a refugee myself, the song always goes straight to my heart. There is so much that seems to be in the way when your entire home, when your entire sense of community and being is taken away from you, and you feel that you must sacrifice all of that to survive for the good of your family, just to give hope and a chance to the next generation. So this is also in honor of my mother, my grandmother, my father, who sacrificed a lot so I could be here today. Gibraltar, soy una raya en el mar, fantasma en la ciudad, mi vida más prohibida y ser la autoridad, mano negra,
clandestino,
boliviano,
clandestino,
africano,
clandestino,
mano negra,
ilegal,
mano negra,
clandestino,
mexicano,
clandestino,
peruano,
clandestino,
mano negra,
ilegal.
Muy bien, muchas gracias. So now is our time of tithes and offerings. So if you're online, we'll be sharing multiple ways that you can give at this time. And for those here also, if you'll just take your offering and put it close to your heart. And if you do it electronically, just bring it to mind and in your heart also. For we know that these tithes and offerings just go forth into the world to do good work. They are blessed and multiplied. We feel the presence of our flow, of the opportunity of giving and receiving. And we are blessed by it also. And we just let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Richard, and let's sing together. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
And thank you for lovely nature cheering us on as we did that. Just beautiful. So for announcements, the announcements are on the website. They're also in the newsletter. Sign up for that if you haven't. They're also on the table over here. So feel free to go look for what's happening, what classes, what workshops, and the rest. And today is the improv workshop with Satya. So if you'd like to join in for that, please have lunch, and then it will begin at 12:30. It's on a love offering basis. So feel free to join in on the comedy, the fun, and sharing and pushing through to a new level. Enjoy that. So at this point, I'm also the practitioner of the day. So I will be over in that section over there if anyone wants to come for prayer. And don't worry if there are more than one there. We have multiple practitioners here that are willing to step up and just join in and support you in both your joys and in your challenges. So feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to send in to the prayer. There's also a prayer box. So whatever you need, we're here to support you. So feel free to take advantage of that. So we're blessed by doing it also. So with that, we just say thank you. There's coffee and snacks afterward. We have one more wonderful song with Pedro and Zoe, and have a blessed day.
I'd like to do a song written by our dear friend Hal and Bob here. I had the great pleasure of doing on a record with him a number of years ago, and he was kind enough to let me do it on one of mine. And
It's about pushing through, just like Teresa's talking about.
clean living.
Yeah.
up this morning with a pair of bloodshot eyes. I didn't get much sleep at all last night. All my money's gone. Oh Lord, what have I done wrong? Can't remember much about the things I done last night. I don't think I want to know. My head is hurting. Oh Lord, what have I done wrong? I wake up in the morning regretting what I've done. But by the night time, I'm back out on the run. Maybe it's the drinking, the running around, or maybe it's just staying out all night long. Just don't understand it. And I say, oh Lord, what have I done wrong? Comes to trouble, I'm always finding some. When it comes to women, why can't I love just one? Maybe it's the drinking, the running around, maybe it's the staying out all night long. Don't understand. Oh Lord, what have I done wrong? I just don't understand it. And I say, oh Lord, what have I done wrong?
Pedro and Zoe, and join us. Join us for the improv.
That was so much fun.
Thanks for doing that. My pleasure. That was unexpected.